12 rounds gym in Clapham with Louie Adolphe, one of Conor McGregor's sparring partners. Before we get onto all that stuff and what that's been like, I wanted to ask a bit about yourself. Obviously, you're 5-0 as a pro.
6-0.
Sorry, 6-0 as a pro. But Boxing News, we've known you from your amateur career.
Yeah.
What people might not know is actually you accomplished a lot as an amateur boxer. How many bouts did you have as an amateur?
Probably about 82.
Okay, so a lot. And won the ABAs?
Yeah, I won the ABAs. I got to 10 national finals. As a junior, I won all the junior titles as well. I won the gold medal for the GB team in the 3 nations as a junior and a senior. That's when I beat Josh Taylor in the final for the gold medal. I was on the GB team, development squad set up. I was there for quite a while. I chose to leave the GB team with my own back. That's it really.
So obviously Josh Taylor's just been in action against Hara Davis. He's been looking great as a pro. Yeah. What was your bout like when you boxed him?
He wasn't much different to what he is now. Still had quick hands, still very skillful. When me and him boxed, I think I knew I had to put pressure on him from the beginning. So I sort of just stepped on him as soon as the bell went. Ended up catching him with a good shot, gave him a standing count. And then from there, we just like back and forward. It was a high pace bout. And I ended up getting the decision in the end. So, yeah.
And was he the best you boxed as an amateur?
He's probably the best, but he wasn't the hardest fight. I've had harder fights, but he was probably on paper the best, yeah.
Who gave you your toughest fights?
I couldn't actually put my finger on no one directly, but I've had a few difficult fights.
Cause you beat Robbie Davis as well. He's another rising light welterweight.
Yeah, I beat Robbie Davis in the ABA finals. That's how I won my ABA title. I beat everyone really. I beat Chris McCongo. I beat Sam McNess 3 or 4 times. I used to beat Sam McNess for fun. So I beat quite a few people, to be fair.
And I'd say your pro career has been a bit stop-start.
Yeah.
So just talk us through that a bit and what's sort of been, what have the problems been? Have you had a few injuries and that kind of thing?
Yeah, a few injuries, just everyday life, things get thrown into your path and sort of just have to deal with them. But everything's dealt with now, focused, and that's what sort of took me from being a boy to a man. And on top of that, just had a child as well.
Alright, so, congratulations.
No, thank you. So it's like, just all these little things will bring your focus back, you know what I mean? And it's like, now everything I feel like it's supposed to happen, so I'm ready and I'm raring to go.
Yeah, so you sort of kind of refocused and almost starting the next chapter of your pro career now.
Exactly.
And the perfect way to start it is in camp with Conor McGregor. So you're probably the last person I expected to end up sparring with him. So can you tell us a bit how that happened?
Just having good people around me really, like Danny. Danny got in contact with me. He said to me, "Would I be interested in sparring Conor?" I said, "Yeah, of course." It's going to be the biggest fight in history. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready." But funny enough, I done my tendons in my leg.
Right. And
they said to me, so when Danny rang me, that was probably like the second day of me having this, like some big, a brace, and I had to keep it in a 45 degree angle. So all the tendons in my leg was torn, there's cut. So so basically when Danny rang me, he was like, "Oh, do you want to spar McGregor?" I was like, "Dan, like I've done the tendons in my leg, I had to get opt on and that." And he was like to me, he's like, "Yeah, but it's not for a few weeks." But then in my head, the doctor said I got to keep it on for like 6 to 8 weeks. But I just knew it was a chance I couldn't like miss. So what I ended up doing is I kept it on for 2 weeks, and then I just unclipped it myself. I rang up, I paid for private physio and things like that. And I just started working it. Within reason, obviously. I won't go mad on it. And thank God, God willing, it just healed. It was mad. I'm not religious directly, but I don't know how it healed, but it just healed up. And
what didn't give you any problems in training? Or
no
anything?
problems whatsoever. And I just went, I sparred, and I still no problems. It just feels like my normal leg.
Were you surprised when this call came?
Yeah.
So it's quite out of the blue.
When I say surprised, like I'm not directly, my name's not out there in the pro circuit, but I'm always training, I'm always fit, I'm always strong. Do you know what I mean? So I was surprised that I got the call, perhaps because obviously it's Conor McGregor, he could get anyone into sport, he could have sparred like Judah, Pacquiao, any of them top fighters. So the fact that my name like got brought forward, it was like it just sat good. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I was happy. I was relieved. To be fair.
Yeah. Because why do you think he sort of chose you rather than a bigger name or a higher profile or even a more experienced pro fighter?
To be fair, I couldn't directly say why he chose me, but it's like we say bigger names and things like that. But at the end of the day, you get all these big names, but I've got the big name credentials. I just like I said, I haven't been in the circuit. Like you could put me in with fighters out there that might be winning British titles or European titles and that. And when we spar, like if you just came in and our faces were covered, you wouldn't be able to tell like who I was and who they were. Do you know what I mean? I can go with these guys. It's just that, like I said, like I just haven't been in the circuit, but I've been training, I've been putting the work in, so I haven't lost nothing. If anything, I've gained.
Yeah. In terms of your sort of fighting style, I kind of thought of you as a high work rate guy, like well suited to being a top level pro. But I haven't really thought of you as being a Floyd Mayweather type fighter, because you sort of describe your style a bit, and maybe or you like replicating him in training.
One thing that I would have in common with Floyd is the speed. I've got very quick hands, and no one can doubt that I've got quick hands. So I've got very quick hands. And what it was as well, I don't think they wanted someone to replicate Floyd. They just wanted as many different styles as possible. Because we know Floyd. If we describe Floyd, he does sit on the ropes and he does all of that stuff. But like when you watch him, he can go through quite a few different. So he might have to do something different with Conor. He might not be able to do that with Conor. So it's just about getting all different styles, all different people, all different builds and statures, and just seeing how maybe Conor as a person can deal with it. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, do you think part of that, like getting lots of different styles, is that I guess McGregor's got a lot to learn about boxing. He hasn't had a whole career.
Exactly.
Even he had a very small amateur career, a very short amateur career as like a junior maybe, but he hasn't had all those years in the amateurs and years in the pros. So do you think he's got a lot to learn about the sport and he's got to box a lot of different styles?
Me personally, from what I saw of him, I wouldn't say he's got a lot to learn. I was quite shocked with what he already had. That's just being honest. I was quite shocked with what he already has. So, and I think he will shock a few people with what he does already have. And he just got that mentality. He's a fighter, and he just he can adapt and he can pick up, and like I said, he's used to feet coming at him, elbows, everything. Do you know what I mean? So he's already sort of got them reactions for when it's just two fists coming towards him.
So he can actually box.
From what, from what I experienced, he can box. If he can't box, then I can't box then because
So what kind of things have you been doing in sparring with him? Like how many rounds have you had, and what's it been like in his gym?
I can't really go into like the rounds and things like that. But like sparring wise, like I said, he shocked me. Yeah, definitely.
Without giving away too much, can you say just a bit about what he's like, I guess, sort of as a boxer more generally, rather than a sort of strategic or like tactical breakdown?
Okay.
What you'd say sort of makes him stand out, as a boxer or in the boxing ring?
Very unorthodox. Movement, great movement, and weighty hands. And like I said, sharp mind. He's got a sharp mind as well. Yeah. So yeah, they're really the main things that I thought stood out about him. Like I said, his movement was really good. Sharp mind, always thinking, and what do you call it? Yeah, just an unorthodox style. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Because from what I've seen of like the clips he's put out of like hitting bags and doing sort of weird training exercises, that just looks odd to me.
Yeah, of course.
But would you say? I guess you'd say that's effective. Is that part?
Yeah, it's
of what
working for him, isn't it? It's working for him. To be fair, it might not work for a boxer that's used to a certain way of training, but I think it's working for him. It's doing his mind good and his body good. So yeah.
Can you say much about who else he's been sparring with, or is that sort of confidential information?
No, it's out there. He's sparring another Irish fella called Tiernan Bradley. Supposed to be quite a good amateur boxer. Yeah. And another American was there called Deshaun Johnson. Yeah, he seemed alright from what I see of him. He fought J. Leon Love.
Okay.
Things like that. But yeah, so he had a few different styles, different personalities. Yeah.
Because I was wondering if I know he's a powerful MMA fighter and knocks people out, but I was wondering if that's different with those smaller UFC gloves. But I guess you've sort of seen his power, and he does like pack a punch.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I was really surprised. There's power there. There's weight there. Definitely.
Are there weird things like an MMA fighter does when he's boxing, even in sparring? Like, in terms of like, are there any advantages in like clinches or like tiring an opponent or moving him around?
I just feel like maybe they know how to balance their weight a bit better. So like if you're leaning on that, they know maybe where to touch and where to push like the opponent to get them off balance a bit. Also, they got strong legs, didn't they? They got really strong legs, so it's like they could bounce on their toes for God knows how long because they're used to that. Their legs are strong, and I just think as a whole, like I say, where they get shins getting thrown at them, the elbows, all that. I think as a whole, their body is more conditioned to absorbing pain. So yeah.
So you're saying it's not going to be an easy night for Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be easy now.
Do you have an idea of what type of a fight is going to end up being? Like, do you think it's going to be a brawl or a typical sort of Mayweather, outbox him, outpoint him type of fight?
I don't think it's going to be a brawl because they're both very smart fighters. Like if you watch in Conor in MMA, if you watch Mayweather in boxing, they're both very smart. So I wouldn't say it's going to be a brawl. I think it's going to be a game of chess. But it's going to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. It's not going to be your typical standoff like watching paint dry. It's going to be an entertaining game of chess.
Do you think? Have you got the impression that McGregor enjoys boxing? Like I think they've said in press conferences that he's going back to the UFC after this.
Yeah.
But do you think he could be tempted to keep on boxing because he'd make a lot of money as a boxer on pay-per-view?
Yeah. I just think, like I said this before, I think if he beats Floyd or if he goes the distance with Floyd or just getting in the ring with Floyd, it's like, what else is there really for him to do? It's like he's been in there with the best. his field is MMA. Like, I think that must be where his passion lies. You know what I mean? So I think personally he'd go back to MMA.
Do you think there's a lot at stake for boxing? Like if McGregor sort of goes 12 rounds or makes Mayweather uncomfortable, let alone wins, it's sort of how would that be bad for boxing?
If McGregor goes 12 rounds, he's won the fight. Like when I say he's won the fight, even if he doesn't get the decision, he's won the fight, because it's like I couldn't imagine Mayweather getting into the octagon with McGregor and doing a full championship rounds. You understand? I think McGregor would end up smashing him to pieces in the first or second round. You know what I mean? Now, I think that holds a lot of pressure on Mayweather now, because if he goes 12 rounds, if McGregor goes 12 rounds with Mayweather and don't get the decision, in my head, he still would have won the fight, because he's gone all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you're potentially helping him give this black eye to boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he should go 12 rounds.
But surely a 12-round prize fight, because a UFC title fight is what, 5-minute rounds, doing all these different disciplines, I think.
Yeah.
Surely the type of fitness is just completely different.
Yeah, it's gonna be. When you say type of fitness is different, in what way? In what context?
Because I know like a UFC fighter has got to be, you know, like superbly fit to deal with the sort of, you know, picking each other up and grappling as well as all the striking. But I'm not sure if I don't think that necessarily conditions you for the type of fitness, the sort of repeated bursts of activity over 12-hole 3-minute rounds.
For boxing. No, yeah, I agree. Because obviously in like the MMA, like you're on the floor quite a bit, so you get time for a breather. Obviously, even though you're working on the floor, but you still get time for a breather, don't you?
Yeah.
The rounds are longer, the pace ain't as fast. So, yeah, boxing obviously, the cardio, the fitness you need for that is off the scale.
But I suppose, have you just been like sparring with him, so you haven't seen what he's doing in terms of like his conditioning?
Yeah,
stuff?
I haven't seen that side of things.
Actually, following on from what you just said, another interesting point about the fight, I think, is going to be like I think in MMA, if you get, you know, hurt from a punch or a kick, you can at least go and start like grappling to try and buy some recovery time, whereas you don't get that in boxing.
In boxing, no, you don't.
So is it like? Yeah, and from the sparring, have you seen how well he sort of deals with you putting him under pressure?
He knows what he's doing. He definitely how can I put it? I don't think there's any worries in the recovery side of things, to be fair. If he gets caught with a shot and has to recover, I think he's got the brain and smart enough to just be on his back, hands up, on his back foot, dance around the ring a bit. You know what I mean? He's got the movement, he's got the footwork. If he does have to clench with Floyd on the inside, just hold on for a little bit. I think, obviously he knows how to clench and how to lean and how to hold. Definitely, it's his game. He's an MMA fighter. So he's gonna know exactly how to tie someone up. Definitely.
So if you were fighting him in a boxing match,
who?
If you were fighting him,
fighting McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor in a prize fight. How would it go?
Oof.
You might not want to answer because you got to work with him.
Yeah, exactly.
You can no comment on this question.
Yeah, I think I'll give a no comment.
But yeah, so what's next? So you've been out in Dublin for the training camp with him?
Yeah.
Are you going out to Las Vegas with him?
I don't know. I'm just waiting on confirmation. I'm just seeing what's happening. And right now, I'm just focusing on my side of things while I'm here. I come back, I just want to train, just look for next dates and next shows, and I think in the next sort of year and that we should be seeing some big things. So hopefully I do go to Vegas, but if not, then I'll just stay here and just focus on what I need to do. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's about me. You know where I'm coming from. So.
Yeah. And do you have an idea yet when your next fight will be?
September time.
get on with it about getting ready for that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna just get ready, do what I gotta do. A little bit of family time is important while I got the time. Just get training with Adam, speak to Danny, and then some big things should come.
Excellent. And what if you've got a good relationship with McGregor? He's an influential person to get on with. So
Yeah, very.
could you see yourself working with him in the future in some shape or form? Who knows?
I'd like to think so, but nothing's promised.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nothing's promised.
Excellent. Well, on that note, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.